Hey guys, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. But before we get into it though, I'd like to remind you guys to give this video a good old like and to be sure to be safe from wherever you're watching and enjoy. Last time we had gone to we'd gone to the train station. Isao complained a little bit because it was cold as hell. But unbeknownst to Hisao, he didn't know that Hanako was the one was who recommended that they take the morning train, like the earliest train possible, which was an old time fashioned train, whereas the bullet train would have gotten them there a lot sooner. And they had lunch, and Hisao slept in. Yeah, I'm surprised how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side. It's my first time too. As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles in my legs. It's a little disturbing, given there's no reason for it to be happening. Could you two just hold a moment? I just need to. Is anything wrong? Nah, I just got pins and needles in. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shot of pain spreading through my entire body. Hisao? My face suddenly mild. Lily's face only mildly concerned, not knowing the sight which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just tired. I remove my arm from my chest to force myself to begin walking again. It's just a minor heart flutter, so it'll pass like the others. It takes a couple of steps before my body violently revolts against me and my legs suddenly begin to give way underneath me. As all the tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. Before I can react, I uselessly give under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself to fall on all fours. Ah, damn. He's as I as I took her as I look up to her, I realize my face is all taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying. Hisao, Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me. Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having little clue as to exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. I come to the realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I'd entirely neglected to take my medications last night or even this morning. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as suddenly as it had arrived. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. As it does, I became acutely aware of the sweat by now pouring off my face and the two scared girls around me. Hisao? I'm fine, Lily, I'm fine. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up. Hanako's arms quickly moving to catch me before regaining my balance. I look to Lily and Hanako, worry written on both their faces. I feel awful, utterly awful. I think we should go back. Realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. While not anything as grave as Hisao's condition, I myself have high blood pressure, and I sometimes forget to take my medication too. like while high blood pressure, and I am in no way, shape, or form a medical professional, but arrhythmia is much more serious than high blood pressure. I can only assume, but both require you to not to forget to take your medication. Kind of, kind of. I mean, I took my medication this morning. I didn't forget, thankfully. But there are just times where I just forget to take my medicine. I don't do it on purpose. I just forget. Like a whole day could go by and I realized, fuck, I haven't taken my medicine yet. I opened my eyes groggily, completely bereft of energy. For a while, I simply lied down lifelessly, staring at the ceiling as I reviewed the events of the morning in an attempt to organize my thoughts. We went to walk to town. My heart nearly gave away. We came back. I took my pills. I slept. I can only remember each period of time as a snapshot, but the timeline is clear enough. The memory of the girl's face as I struggled to stand is an unpleasant one, stinging my feelings harshly. I look at the ceiling hard enough. I can imagine the tile edges and the small dimples of the ceiling in the hospital. That fact alone is enough to make me spit up and try to pull myself together. Sit up. Why did I say spit up? The scratch of the back of my disheveled hair glancing around the room. Lily and Hanako are nowhere to be seen, and the television's turned off. The clock above it says it's pretty late in the afternoon. The noticeably reddened sky outside the windows confirms it further. I turn back and pick myself off the futon, swaying slightly as I put my arms out for balance. I suppose I'd better go to look for the girls to see if they're all right. As I look around the window, I faintly see something in the distance. Straining my eyes, I can just make out the shape of a person's figure. Her long blonde hair, swaying in the faint breeze, makes her almost seem to melt into the bright yellow of the wheat field. Without a second thought, I leave the room and follow the lone apparition. The brightness of the setting sun assaults my freshly awoken eyes, forcing me to avert them until they adjust. The long yellow strands of wheat brush against my legs as I wade through them, the densely grown field making it hard to advance. Which minds the question, how did Lily get all the way out there as far as she did? Regardless, my eyes stay fixed ahead, true to that solitary figure. Within a few minutes, I reach her, meters behind her turned back. Lily? She simply nods. Where's Hanako? She's in bed. She went to sleep after I calmed her down. She says it after a matter-of-factly, as which few words as possible, as if saying any more is strictly forbidden. There's something different about her. Her normally confident figure seems oddly fragile, her body offering no resistance to the breeze flowing her skirt. The strands of wheat sway from the side of the while a deafening pause passes, the only sound of being there rustling. As we stand in the field alone, I know what I have to ask. What's wrong, Lily? You're not acting like you usually do. Remember when I talked of my family, Hisao? Your family? I looked downwards in thought, sifting through my scattered memories. The event seems to leap ready to hand when I stretch for it. Rising to the surface as soon as it was recalled. After Hanako's birthday party, she gives a single and simple nod. It was nice back then. It was nice back then. You and I celebrating with Hanako, simply sharing presents, talking, having fun together. It was almost as if we were a family. One small, misshapen family. I thought could just go on forever. Just the three of us, happily, together. She takes a long breath and a slight shakiness, just barely audible through the moving air. Even if my family was so far away, as long as we were together, that was all I needed. I don't want to lose you, Hisao. I didn't even realize how afraid I was of losing someone else until today. Until... I'm sorry, Lily. I know my body's weak, but... Even then, I made the most stupid of mistakes. Don't apologize. Please don't apologize. Lily? She turns to face me, her pale cheeks stained with tears. One misguided step after another, she stumbles towards me, her arms held down in search of so much as a faint brush against me. Oh, this song, bro. I feel like the warm tingling in my body, dude. This song, dude, I love it. It evokes such a warm feeling of happiness in me, dude. My heart doesn't race nor pound as I step towards Lily, gently taking her steadying in her arms as she quickly clutches to me, sobbing. With her face trembling against my shoulder, the next words from her mouth are the last that I expected. I love you, Hisao. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't go away. I beg of you, never go away. I love you, Hisao, so please. So that's why she's been acting like this. That tender voice when I called her, her thoughtless concern at the slightest pain I might feel. Oh, fuck, dude, my heart. After having been left in Japan without her family, and with only Akira and Hanako and me around, she was afraid of losing yet another person who was close to her. She was genuinely worried for me. It's strange feeling, a mix of surprise and sorrow, yet also the deepest gratitude I think I've ever felt. The only reaction I can muster among my conflicting emotions is a calm sigh. You idiot. Okay, why of all fucking... You could have fucking said anything, and that's what you open with. Oh, you saw, you twat. He... Sal? For a fleeting moment, I feel her body becoming still. A moment to be felt as the calm after the breeze. I said it before, didn't I? It's only natural if you're concerned about those around you. I'm still here, and I'll always be here, because I want to see you more each day, to share in your happiness, to support you in your sadness. But most of all, I'll still be here because I want to see your smile, your true smile. Oh, this is so sweet. A single gust of wind rustles the long strands of wheat. A second silence passes. Smile when you want to smile. Cry when you want to cry. I love you, Lily. So, you don't have to hold back anymore. With that, her arms clutch my back as tightly as she can, her face buried beside mine. Her tears fall down my back. She cries unrestrainedly as the last of her resistance melts away. I close my eyes and bring my head down to her shoulder, holding her shaking frame tightly. It's okay, Lily. I'll never go away, I promise. Oh. Young love, dude. I fucking love it. We slowly walk back to her house, holding each other tightly as we take a seat inside. Lily leans her head onto my shoulder as I put my arm around her waist. Time to beat up them booty cheeks! Oh shit. Beat up them booty cheeks. Fuck's sake. Anyways, neither of us has any want to break the silence. With her eyes shut, it's hard to work out whether she's fallen asleep. Not that I mind. The warmth of her body leaning against mine, the softness of her hand delicately held in mine. For a long time, we sit leaning against one shoulder, on one another, sharing our warmth and feelings that might eventually begins to settle in. Lily's soft voice once ends in silence. Thank you, Hisao. Thank you for returning my feelings. Did you think I wouldn't? There was the possibility. I took a deep breath and thought that much was only my fault. It's funny, actually. I was actually thinking of telling you about my own feelings sometime soon. I guess in that way you saved me the effort. You lazy twat. He raises her hand and gives a tiny, amused giggle. I smile how the earnest it is, so girlish in his lightness. She collects herself soon afterward, resting against my shoulder. Feeling a bit better? She gives a small nod. You are thoughtful, Hisao, and that's why I like you. I'm sorry I'm like this. As much as I didn't want to make you concerned for me, I couldn't do anything to prevent it. Don't apologize for it. Please don't. Lily, have I ever apologized for you once for my blindness, even once? You can't help the way you are, born Hisao. There's no point in apologizing for who you are. She says this with such surprising conviction. In the end, it's perhaps this mentality which spurred her to befriend me in such a short time, in addition to her motherly instincts. She did seem to become trusting very quickly, but I never questioned why. Now it seems obvious that she did so to help me as I went through the lowest points in my life. I move forward to respond, but I cut myself off as I feel her fingers gently run through my hair. I feel her soft, delicate touch moving towards to trace the contours of my face, her palm finally setting on my cheek. You are a beautiful person, Isao. Please don't apologize for that. For a moment, I'm utterly speechless. I slowly bend my head down, placing a tender kiss on her light, voluminous hair. Fuck. My mind is fucked. Yeah, place a kiss on them titties, boy. For a moment, I'm utterly speechless. I slowly bend my head down, placing a tender kiss on her light, voluminous hair. We're a couple of right old fools, aren't we? We are. You're both only 8. Actually, he saw us a heart condition, so it's more like he's 50 in terms of bodily age. After a long calm, she speaks again. Hisao? Yes? I wouldn't mind if you... Oh, yes. I feel her hand tensing under mine, trembling slightly. My mouth opens, but I try as I might. I can't formulate a response to her position. Lily? Before I can say another word, she slips her hand from under mine and tenderly holds the side of my face once more. Please. Please? A peaceful smile holding her hand on my cheek as I nod a single time. Okay. The music! This is how you know in any fucking. You could hear this song once. That's all you need, and you know they about to fuck. Or do something of the sort. Like, any. Not like completely fuck, but this is how you fucking know they about to smash. As I look in her eyes, she leans forward towards me. Her delicate lips touch mine as she guides herself with her hand. She breaks off not for a second later, faintly smiling. Of course, they don't always use this song, but I think maybe like once they did it, and it's in this path actually. I love you, Hisao. We kiss again, but the time we both of us meeting the other, while the previous kiss was one of love, this one's out of lust. Our tongues meeting and our breathing heavy. After precious seconds we part, both of our faces we are truly flushed. Both of us bring our fingers and our lips in unison, recalling that fleeting feeling rapidly becoming buried by both our urges and bashfulness. Lily's first to shift uncomfortably though. What is it? Should we get more comfortable? Okay. Oh yeah. This is definitely the Patreon episode. Well, this section anyways. Considering the thoughts running through both of our minds, it's no small wonder one of us has any measure of foresight left. I take her hands and guide her sideways as I move. The brief and awkward dance ending us both tentatively sitting on the floor opposite of each other. As I reach forward to pull her top up, she stops after she moves her hands to do the same. You're shaking. As I pause for a moment, I look at my hands. Well, no shit. Like, like, the body is willing, the flesh is willing, but the spirit is nervous. Sure enough, they're quivering slightly, whether it's from nervousness or excitement, I'm not sure. Nerve roused? I guess I am. So you're nervous as I am then. I withdraw my hands and slyly steadying myself. Why we have plenty of time, so there's no need to rush this. Sorry, it's my first time, so I'm a bit. She giggles shakily, but confirming what I reasonably deduced by now. It's the same for me. I'm happy we could share this together. I match her smile twofold, leaning forward and taking her body in the arms as she reaches to hug me back. I love you, Lily. You already said that. I can't help grinning. Even in such a situation, she still has her wits about her. Breaking our embrace, we decide to take off our own clothing. While it's easier this way, I don't doubt it's just an attempt to distract ourselves from our nerves. With stiff hands, I begin to first unbutton my shirt. Once I remove the last of our clothes, which end up haphazardly piled behind us, my breath is taken to the side in front of me. Her long, shapely legs, full hips, her breasts plump and but dainty, her slight blushing face, this delicate and reserved, is framed by the bangs of her hair. Her hands, tightly held behind her, serve to further accentuate her chest. Her tall and pale body is beautiful and barred. This girl in front of me is reserved yet playful, astute yet hospitable. This is the girl I've fallen in love with. I lean forward delicately taking her shoulders in my hands. As she brings her hands to her chest with slightly uneven breath, leaning in a deep kiss, I feel one of Lily's hands slowly slide up to my shoulder, and yet heavily and gently moving forwards. Assuming her intent, I lean back on the floor. Ah. I could go full screen, but it would just be the fucking same. She lowers herself beside me, one hand stroking my hair and the other moves across my chest. It only sucks that I can't use any of these fucking scenes following as a fucking thumbnail for the YouTube version. I mean, maybe if I cropped it enough, I don't know. I mean, maybe if I went up to their neck or jawline or whatever. She lowers herself beside me, and one hand stroking my hair as the other moves across my chest. The feeling of her breast against it enough to excite me. This must be her way of taking in what I've already seen of her. Despite her lack of sight, she engraves every detail of my bare body and chest in her mind. When her middle finger follows the slight recesses of my chest scar, lingering effect of my operation so many months ago, her slowly runs her hand down its length. This is the scar from my surgery. They both had to do this in order to operate on my heart. On the moment she's lost for words, the idea of such extensive scarring adding new worry for her. Her expression changes from curiosity to apprehension. Should we really be doing this kind of thing? The words of this bother me beyond what is rational. Lily's face. Yeah, that's because you want to fuck, homie. That's why it bothers you. Beyond Lily's face breaks my heart once more. More than she words it possibly could yet. I don't even know the answer to her question. I can't let this condition demote me forever. It's not even the medically advisable. It may not even be medically advisable, but I outright refuse to live my life in such a prison. It's okay, Lily. This much will be okay. Besides, the point of no return was before y'all started undressing. That's when the point of no fucking return was. But she eventually acquiesces, her hand moving to my shoulder and chest, then my thigh. With a little surprise, she touches him, she hands it downward. Her breath is catching, she brushes side of my lower hair. The tentative moves her hand sideways, delicately touching the most honest part of my body. This is... Yup, that's the cock. Look away, Pedro. Pedro. You're too young to see this. Pikachu gets away with it because they have their eyes closed, but you're too young to see this, my dude. Our nervousness peaks at an act patting up and down as lightly as she could break and breathe upon. You could be a little bit more rough with it than that, Lily. I just want you to know that. You could be a little rough with it, Mama. So I hope that you know that. I'm not sure whether it's just to steady herself or because I want to steady her, but I take my free hand and hold the side of her face in it. The feeling of her hair and soft skin is nice. It seems to lighten her mood a bit. The fact that I'm being touched by her is surprisingly erotic. I felt my body relaxing to submit to the pleasure overwhelming me. Most minutes pass, almost total silence or heavy breathing, the only sound to be heard in the house. Lily's fingers stop, affectionately stroking my hair as she opens her lips once again. So, I wait for the rest of the sentence, but none is forthcoming. She may be trying to take the lead, but she's incredibly nervous. Oh, so she's the top. That's nice. I can't help but smiling as I stroke her hair from her a couple times, reassuring her, as nervous as she may be. I'm thankful for that Lily is taking the lead. I'd probably be just as anxious if I were attending to her. Okay. She pauses a moment before giving a small nod, sitting up and shifting her legs over mine. Once again, her breath has stolen my breath by magnificent sight of her body over mine. I can only look on frozen as she delicately lowers herself, resting her reddened lips over me. She slowly begins to move her hips downward, her softness enveloping my consciousness. She takes a deep breath to collect herself, her face remaining steady, with her hands on taking in my body in luau of sight. The immediate situation muddles her usual efforts to compensate for the lack of eyesight. She gradually lowers herself onto me, her knees and hands supporting her as she does. Her entire body tenses as I enter her expression, obviously one of stifled pain. Despite that, I can't help but savoring the soft feeling enveloping my consciousness, the urge of pleasure overwhelming all of my senses. The last vestiges of it all but disappear inside of her while her nails slightly scrape onto my chest. To stop herself from yelping in pain, a pain moan too much for her to suppress completely escapes her lips. As I open my mouth to comfort her, I see her barely visible red drops from between her legs. Lily, if this is too much... She clenches her mouth quickly and forcefully shaking her head from side in defiance. After a couple of seconds, relaxes her body slightly, though she's obviously far from being comfortable. Oh yeah, they're also going bareback too. It's, I, it's okay. I'm okay. She swallows hard, trying to collect herself. Swallow. Sorry, it's the middle schooler slash high school era in me. Never fully went away, I might add. Lifting herself slowly and then bringing herself back down, she relaxes a little more as feelings of pleasure begin to overtake those of pain. Her breathing starts to match the same ragged patterns as mine, her body moving almost teasingly slow. She looks as if she's slowly beginning to enjoy the act of my feelings finally reaching her. I'm not sure if she's keeping herself at this speed for her sake or for mine, but either way, which is with this slow and steady pace, I think I can keep my body in check. It's funny in a way that even now I'm depending on her. For us to be joined together like this, feeling so close, it makes me glad to be sharing our first moment together like this. It's almost overwhelming feeling. I love you, Lily. I can feel her. I can't say that. I mean, I'd like to, but my mom would be like, yo, hey, yo, what the fuck is you doing? And what is that on your screen? It's funny because my dad is the one that doesn't care, which is to be expected. I feel her body tensing, her breathing and movements becoming steadily less carefully controlled. I'm happy to be making her feel so good, but as my thoughts become increasingly focused, I feel myself rapidly nearing my limit. Oh, so you saw it was a quick shot. Controlling my body is instantaneously wrested from my mind as I grit my teeth and loud moan escapes as he busts a nut and when... I cannot fucking stop, but yeah, like, he does. I grit my teeth, a loud moan escaping as I climax as my hips hit hers. Her body hunches over at the same moment, her breast touching on my chest. We stay locked in all-encompassing ecstasy for a brief moment, my mind completely taken by the feeling of precious few seconds. It all ends too soon and our bodies collapse in exhaustion. See, I would like to use that picture right now for a thumbnail if I could get away with it. Maybe? It all ends too soon and our bodies collapse in exhaustion, with Lily barely staying on top of me. I lifelessly managed to wrap my arms around her lips, sweating body for minutes. We simply lay there, silently savoring the contact with each other while we recover from the experience. Neither of us had thought ourselves prepared for such a thing, of that much I'm certain. Entirely drained for us past the point of conversation, I look at her tired face. It looks as if the exertion of both physical and mental has almost forced her on the verge of collapse. I love you, Lily. She nods weakly, rubbing her hair with her left hand, and we could simply remain together like this for an eternity. It would be a paradise like no other. To the editing booth! Quite literally, I have to edit this. And that is all the time that I have for now. But before I cut things off, though, I'd like to remind you guys to give this video a like and to share it and to follow my socials. You can find all of those in the link in the description below and in the About section of my channel. That being said, I will see you guys. Oh, right. Join the Discord. It's completely free. And yeah. You can meet and talk with all sorts of like-minded individuals about video games, anime, movies, music, and the like. But that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm gonna order me some food. I'm fucking hungry.